6 o'clock on the dot. Let's kick this meeting off. Roll call tonight. We've got Scott Dreamer, Linda Powell, Michael Roth, Mike Yoder, Jill Schwartz. And is Eric with us on
Yes.
Zoom? And Eric is with us on Zoom. Hi, Eric. Welcome tonight. So first things first, does anybody have any additions to the agenda? Do you guys all have your agenda that we had Mike reprint out last minute?
Reprint out?
Anybody see anything on there that they need added?
No.
Oh, I need to talk about the community garden.
Was that not in there?
That is not on there. You'd think the guy making the agenda would remember to put that on there. So, community garden. And I'm not asking for any kind of a vote or anything on that right now, but I just wanted to give everybody an update. We're almost fully planted. We've got our irrigation hooked up. Tested it a number of times, attempting to fix the leaks. And that main manifold that's in there, it's, I think, just a little too old. It's been there 5 years now, and that's gonna need to be replaced to minimize the leakage. But it only leaks while it's running. It's not like it's leaking all the time, but when we are running, it's leaking around the main manifold there. And so that's gonna take me a little bit of time to get done, but since you guys are covering the water for that, I wanted to make sure I informed you guys of that and see if you had any questions about that. The other thing is I brought up possibly renaming the community garden to the Bristol Community Food Pantry Garden. And
Is that all on the agenda? I'm sorry.
I guess I'm a guest, so I was gonna hop up to the front.
Did we want to approve the minutes for May?
Well, we didn't do the minutes yet. We'll call additions to, now we gotta do minutes.
Okay, you wanna do that before we do the garden?
You're right here on your agenda.
I'm on the additional items that were added to the agenda.
Oh, that just gets put on there and then you talk about it later.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's what that means, Michael. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No
I
problem.
won't tell you what that was.
Thank you, all right.
Okay.
So we'll add the community garden discussion to the beginning of the general all parks discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so first things first then, do we have any additions or edits to the May minutes? No changes? Okay, I make a motion to approve the May minutes. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Linda, aye. Scott?
Yes.
Vote carries. Okay. So the first thing on the general section was the community garden. I was beginning to discuss the possible name change.
What about the minutes, the April and April and March minutes? Have you been able to get those done yet?
No, I have not gotten
Okay.
those done. We'll have those done before the next meeting. Okay, thank you. Good question.
Okay, now I'm ready for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I was bringing up the possible name change. I don't know if anybody noticed on one of our Facebook posts about it, right after our last meeting, we had people asking what the community garden was. They said, is that something we can go and plant whatever we want? Can we go harvest whatever we want? And that just reminded me again that I think people see the term community garden and they think it's something that either they can go plant what they like or they can go and harvest whatever they like. When the primary purpose is to raise vegetables for the hub, the food pantry. So I would propose that we change the name to the Bristol Community Food Pantry Garden. Just adding that wording in, because it is time for a new sign as well. I'm gonna be making a new sign and I figure now's the time to make that change if we're gonna make that change. Since Austin's not here and I would be abstaining from the votes, we don't have enough people here to vote. If you guys wanted to
Bristol
vote on the
Community,
food pantry garden. So just be adding the two words food pantry. So we'd need to wait, I guess, to get Austin's vote if we were gonna need to vote on that, but I wondered what you guys thought about that, if you had any thoughts or suggestions. Scott?
I had no idea that that was solely for the food pantry. I thought it was truly a community benefit garden. My misunderstanding.
Oh, it's okay. And that's
I've
the
never,
thing.
I guess I blew that, my bad.
And that's, I think a lot of people
Well, I
have that
think a lot of
misunderstanding.
people think that, yeah.
Mhm.
I want to,
Yeah,
I mean, if I went walking by and I saw a couple really nice strawberries, I would go help myself to a strawberry because I didn't think that it was only for the food pantry.
Right.
yeah,
and the way that I actually, when I'm giving my elevator speech about it, I say that our primary purpose is to provide fresh produce for the community, or for the community food pantry. If we have extra, which we often do, we allow pantry patrons to go to harvest on their off time, volunteers and or members of the community. So it is open to the community, but the primary purpose is growing for the food pantry. And that was part of the contract that we signed with Seed to Feed. That's the reason that their organization supports our garden and the 25 or 30 other gardens that they do, is that they are,
by all means, yes, that should be clarified.
okay.
I mean, I wonder if we shouldn't get a permanent sign.
Mhm. And that's something I'd like to work towards. Is that something the park board would be interested in helping?
I
Cover the
think, I
cost
think
on,
we
or-
probably should get a sign like that.
The one that my wife and I painted with our nieces 6 years ago is starting to fall apart a little bit, so it is time for a new sign.
What if you just left the name as is and the sign just explaining the purpose of the garden?
In the past, when we've done that, we've had signs that explain that. That people, I don't know if they ignore it, they don't see the sign.
Well, I wonder if it has to be a professional looking one. Not to
The
say
sign.
that yours,
Sure, yeah, no, I mean, it was bubble letters and.
you know, I mean, a real professional sign that looks like, hey, you wanna read this before you go in the garden
Mhm.
type thing.
I'd like it to be something that you can tell from the road just at a glance, like, oh,
Oh,
that's what this is for, is my thinking. So if that's something you guys are interested in, obviously we don't have the people to vote for it. I don't have any plan or anything put together for it, but I can start looking at some design ideas, and I can send you guys via email some proposals, some possible costs, and we could vote on that at the next meeting. Does that sound okay? If I provide you guys with some proposed name changes and sources for the sign?
well, what about taking the community out? What about saying Bristol
Food
Food
Pantry
Pantry Garden? Take community out. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's still
Take community out.
making a sign and bringing forth sign ideas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that's still doing that, yeah, which is what Michael's proposing to do.
Yeah, I'll send you that
Option.
information and I'll include that as one of the ideas, and we can kind of
Okay.
just discuss it via email to make that final decision at the next meeting, hopefully when we've got enough people to make a vote for that. Okay. Also wanted to let everybody know that we've made our first deliveries to the pantry. We started about a month ago, and we've been delivering 5 to 10 pounds of lettuce and green onions to the pantry every week for the last 4 weeks. So, as well as going to the farmer's market and getting a lot of good feedback there, getting some good connections with the community, hopefully some new volunteers, I think, should really be helping us have a successful year for the garden. Do you guys have any questions for me regarding the community garden? Anyone in the? Okay. All right, we'll move ahead then. Organization 101, we're planning to do that, primarily have that discussion for Austin and any of our possible viewers that we have with us tonight. But since Austin's not going to be able to join us, we'll postpone that until our next meeting in July. The next thing on the agenda is the park board secretary discussion. Basically, I think we just need to start reaching out to the public to see if we could get a volunteer that would like to join our team. And take over that role for at least temporarily as the secretary, so that we're not relying on AI and board members to do those minutes. Scott, do you have any thoughts on that?
Do you want to put that on Facebook, or what are you wanting to do to reach out? Or do you have somebody in mind? I have no one.
I've mentioned it to a few people, but haven't gotten any specific interest. I was thinking we'd share it on the town's Facebook page, and if anybody had any other ideas for,
My idea was my wife, she said, no.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, how's your wife's retirement going?
She's helping as she wants to, the farmer's market, and I think helping you too with the planting over there. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
might
that's
cover
how,
what she wants to do.
yeah, and we're gonna keep her busy with that, Scott, so.
So yes, my choice is exhausted. I
Okay.
said no.
Um, so Mike, is that something, if we typed up what we want that to look like and give that to you, would you be able to share that on the town's Facebook page?
Sure, we'll get it on.
And Jill, would that be something we could maybe possibly put on a flyer or something to put at the?
I was gonna
Farmer's
recommend our
market.
newsletter, that will
Mhm.
be going out the first of July.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Newsletter.
When's the deadline that you need that? info
I think
by?
it emailed you today, Michael, but I think it's
Oh,
June
did you?
19th. Yeah,
Okay.
so if you could write your park board / community garden.
And that goes out beginning of July or July 1st?
Right around that first of July, yeah.
Okay. All right. And all the emails we sent today, I did not see that one, so I apologize. No, that's a great idea. So we'll do Facebook, we'll do the newsletter, and can we do a little sign at the, because don't you have like a cork board at the farmer's market? Okay. All right. Well, I think that's how we should get that handled. Anybody have any further thoughts on getting a temporary secretary? Okay. Next on the agenda is the multi-part planting project by Kathy Antonelli. Basically, I've had some communication with her. She's got plantings done in all the parks. She's realizing that there's a lot more to those plantings as far as time and effort, as far as getting them watered, getting them taken care of. And I don't know, Linda, did you want to say anything about the info that you got about that today, or is that not anything that we need to discuss necessarily?
Well, it's just that something dug them up. Dug up her flowers. I mean, she spent 6 hours out there planting all these flowers. She's very down right now. She needs to have some pickup.
It's frustrating.
So,
Was that at Congdon Park? And did you say the north side of the?
it's on the steps.
Okay.
The steps area there. So, anyway, I talked with her so that she and Perry can get it set up in the schedule with Perry, that he can do the watering, so she doesn't have to do the watering. So we're gonna get that set up. But,
Okay. And do you think that's, with Perry helping, do you think that's adequate enough to be able to get those watered when needed?
oh yeah,
Okay,
I'll talk with him. I think he needs to start out with doing it daily until they get established, and then he knows when he can cut back to
Mhm.
every other day or whatever it might be, so. Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, if he's unable to do that one day or whatever, just let him know. You can let me know and I'll try to get over there and get them watered. Doing that with all of the other garden work as well, so. But yeah, so she's planted in multiple parks, got flowers around her signs, around the stairwell there. And she's looking to expand, or was looking to expand the planting around her mats. And I think I'm getting the gist that, as of right now, she's kind of has her hands full with what she's got there. So does anybody have any questions or thoughts regarding the flower planting that Kathy Antonelli has been working on? No? Okay,
They look good.
they do. It looks great. And if she happens to watch this, thank you very much for your work, Kathy. We appreciate you. Next on the agenda is the summer events calendar and approvals. The two things that I've received since the last meeting are the request for the car show. And that's going to be on August 15th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. hosted by the public library. Is there anyone else involved with the hosting of that, Jill? Okay.
Just the library.
So that's the public library hosting the car show August 15th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They didn't have any special requests of the park board. I gave this,
Usually they ask us to help somewhere. Usually they do, but I don't know if it's too soon for that now.
there was a request on there for some extra trash cans and things like that. But it wasn't necessarily for the park board, that it was things Eric was going to handle. So did anybody have any questions or thoughts or concerns regarding the car show? Scott? Linda?
No,
Okay.
I
So
think
I
it's a
would,
good event.
I think it's a great event. Yeah, they've had, seems like good turnout. Lots of local folks going out and enjoying it. So look forward to seeing that in August. So, I'll make a motion to vote to approve the car show. Do I have a second?
Second,
Scott seconds. All in favor? Scott?
aye.
Linda? I'm also in favor. Vote carries. To approve the car show. The homecoming, that one I don't think we need a vote for. That one's just pretty much approved on a yearly basis. It's grandfathered in, as it were. But the Bristol homecoming this year is gonna be July 9th at 5 p.m. to July 11th at midnight. Things that they said they could need from the park are closing the Congdon kayak launch, and having the water turned on. And I guess Mike or Jill, I wanted to ask for clarification from you guys. I assumed when they said close the kayak launch, they were just talking about the Congdon kayak launch, not the Hermance launch. Is that assumption correct, or do we need to look at closing both of those?
Well, they're talking about the parking area because people won't be able to park there and use
Right.
the launch,
Right.
especially on Saturday, for sure.
Right, I have to double check with the fireworks folks about Hermance, if we can leave that open.
Okay.
But in the past, that's what they were in reference, sorry, Michael.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It was that parking lot. They just didn't
Yeah.
want folks coming in and parking there and then, or the folks that I think rent kayaks and things like that.
Right.
Out of that, they didn't want to have that be available to them that weekend.
And that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to confirm that I wasn't making an incorrect assumption there. So if you need anything from us, to help with the closure of that or getting the water turned on, is that, Eric, do you need anything from us or Mike?
Water's on.
Okay,
No, I don't need anything here.
okay, thank you, sir. All right.
Eric looks like he has going. Just putting that.
You know, I'm a little jealous of his view that he's got there. That looks like a more comfortable spot you got there. Okay, so that's the end of the summer events. The next thing up is the playground mulch replacement update. So Mike Yoder and or Eric Funkhauser, can you guys give us an update on what's going on with the mulch replacement in our playgrounds, please?
So we had a little bit of an issue with Cobalt up in Sturgis, Michigan. Turned out that, we kind of got things rolling on kind of the wrong time. So the company was bought out by Intech from Middlebury. And I had more of us communicate with them that they still honor the quote. And after the back and forth emails, and well, in fact, honoring that quote. So we got an order, and there we go. Did you catch any of that?
I didn't hear what you said after you said you got it ordered and then, I don't know what you
Oh.
said.
Yeah, no, we got an order and it should be here Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay.
That's the part that cut out.
And I also I couldn't make out the name of the company that bought out Cobalt, but you said they're in Middlebury. What's the name of the company?
Entech.
Company's called Intech,
Entech? EN or I?
Yeah.
Ian.
They're out on County Road 2.
ENTECH.
Okay. All right, so Entech will be providing our mulch, that should be here Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Board, do you have any questions for Eric, Scott?
No.
Linda? No? Eric, do you have anything else on that? Do you have any idea, like an expected end date? Is that gonna be enough mulch to cover it? Or will we find out?
We're gonna put it in, we're gonna see where we're at. There's 11 bags. And the quantity of that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm imagining it's a 4 foot by 4 foot cube. So we'll see how far it takes us. I figure the better approach is to start with maybe less than too much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and because the fact that street department is gonna be moving from the old location to the new location. I don't wanna put it in a place where I have to constantly move it or
Yeah.
store it somewhere. So I'm thinking that we'll just start off with these 11 bags in the borders, and then after that, we'll see where we're at.
Okay,
So Intech was able to provide us the borders too, Eric?
Yes, they're able to honor that quote.
Liquid bags and borders. Okay, no one has anything else about the playground mulch, we can move on. Um, So the budget here, Mike, I was essentially wanting us to just cover this with regards to the mural discussion. Should we wait to cover that until we get to the mural discussion, or do you have other things on the budget that you'd like to get clarified?
You can do a quick review of the budget if you like.
Okay, yeah, fire away, give us a quick review.
So, everything looks good right now. There's a couple expenditures like the trimming of the trees that'll get entered this Friday as the check is written. So percent of the budget remaining, you want that to be over 50%. And the only place you've got a problem is contractual services, which I'm not sure why that is. Jill, do you know why why we spent $6,000 out of 8,000 already? Is that,
I don't know.
yeah, so we'll follow up on
I know
that.
some of it was for software. I think we talked about this last month. We questioned some of the contractual services, why it was so high. And I believe it was for some of the software programs that Park pays a portion of those
Yeah,
annual fees.
I didn't notice that until right now, because I scanned down there through there. Because when I had this open, I could have easily checked, and so I apologize.
I'm sorry, Jill, could you say that one more time?
Software, some additional software that we bought.
Yeah,
Would that have anything to do with the court reserve app? Because I know we voted to
Good, yeah,
approve
that would
that
be part of
cost,
it
and
as
that
well.
was,
yeah, and some of our accounts payable, receivable programs. I think I emailed you guys that after our meeting and breakdown of those, but I can,
okay, I'll double check.
So
So just after the last meeting, you sent that?
Mhm. So on general improvements and ground improvements, you've got 25,000 there. You spent just under 200. Or, well, no, you spent right at 750 some. So you've still got plenty of money in ground improvements and general improvements. Otherwise, and down here, we've learned that these, if I understand the program right, in your park donation gifts fund, you've got 13,000 there. In your non-reverting, there's 52.5, and in your overall park fund, that's 123,000. So that's where your budget comes out of, this fund. So that's the current balance in those funds.
And which fund would the tree removal and replacements come out of, and has that already come out?
That has not come out. So that'll be out of this, but so I'm not sure how this accounts. If this is the balance less what you budgeted, or if it's the actual to date balance. I don't know. Do you know, Jill?
you talking about the 123,000.
Yes.
Yeah, the fund equity.
I mean, it's kind of weird. It's the beginning of the year balance, so it makes me think that's the balance at the beginning of the year.
That's,
And it's not the balance as of today, which is what's kind of weird, because that's what I would expect it to show.
if you look at the cash,
Yes.
see the 2300. You can find out why that's.
See, this part of the software is still,
So right there should show you your part, the 2204,
Mhm.
your cash.
Yeah,
So you see the 87 beginning of the year, we spent 12,000. And then down at the bottom, the 64,000. That's where we're at, which is the park fund, that's your operating park fund.
except down below it says we have,
Yeah, but if you look down, there's not the 2204, I'm not sure what that 2300, that's not a park fund.
that's the park donation fund.
But if you
Oh,
look
but the
down-
cash one,
Yeah, but if you look down, that's not the park.
Are you talking about the non-reverting
fund,
fund?
that's 4403.
mm-hmm. Oh,
I don't know
I
where the
see it,
2300 is, that's why.
that's, this one here is fund equity for department.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a weird fund. Okay.
So just ignore that one.
ignore that one and we'll get this fixed, you know, we'll eventually.
We can do, yeah, have fun.
We'll update it for next month, but here's the meat and potatoes right here.
Yes.
You're in good shape
Okay.
for the mid-year. Okay, so that's your budget report.
Contractual services, we have to know what.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming out of there from now on.
We can make some corrections. It's budget time again, so we will be taking a look at some of these that are over budget and figuring out where we need to move for next year. Okay, that is that.
All right. Did anybody have any questions for Mike on the budget overview? Scott?
No.
Linda?
You know,
Okay.
April 8th, I sent that,
No, go ahead.
April 8th is when I sent that email. Obviously, it wouldn't be anything beyond April 8th, but a breakdown of contractuals, so you could see a lot of it was the digital bill and software.
Okay, thank you for finding that. I was thinking it was after our May meeting, so that's where I would have been looking. So,
Yeah.
okay, April 8th, that's where I'll find it then. Thank you. Moving on then. So we're in Congdon Park. Tree removal and tree planting update. I believe you guys sent us an email about that today, but Mike or Eric, do you guys want to give us the update on the tree removal and pruning that occurred at Congdon Park for us?
2 trees were removed and the one close to the playground has been pruned or kind of city topped. And then the tree replacement is supposed to set place this month. Not next month. I think it's this month. I'd have to double check. We did have a total of 6 trees.
And there's some good news. So last month we talked about where to place the trees in light of the new water main going through that area. But I received the new drawing on the new water main and they're going to stay north of our walking path. So they will be completely out of that area.
Okay.
So you can put the trees wherever you choose in that area now. And just another side note is that Eric was suggesting that parking lot might need to be resurfaced as well. You might want to focus on that. We were hesitant because of the excavation. Well, now we're north of that. Same with the fence in there. So if you wanted to move forward with those projects, we can do that. But first of all, we need to know where you want to put those trees because now things have changed a little bit. Do you want to go back to the original plan or do you want to keep the one oak tree to plant out at the cemetery? That was an option you had.
Okay. Scott or Eric, do you guys remember how many trees because we went up there and kind of decided where we thought the new one should go. I was thinking it was 5, but was it 6? And do we remember where those locations were? Scott, you first.
It was absolutely not 6. We had it spray painted with X's and stuff that all that get mowed off and washed away. Eric?
Right. I'm sure I can still kind of maybe go out there, maybe find big out where some of those locations are at. But yeah, we decided on 6. I feel like we added an additional when we were out there walking. I mean, when I looked at the quote as well, off the dogwood, I see that there was 2 additional or it was an additional dogwood. I got added.
Oh, I recall we added that one because we decided to take out 2 trees instead of 1. So that's where it went up to 6. So if we only have room to fit 5 out there in the locations that we talked about, then it would be okay to plant that 6th one at the cemetery. Where Linda, didn't you say there was some place at the cemetery that needed a tree?
Right in the middle of the circle.
Okay. Scott, do you have any input on that idea?
No, that can go out to the cemetery if that's got a spot that it's needed.
Okay. Eric, would you be able to at all get a picture of the map and indicate on the map and email it to us where those 5 trees would be going, just to confirm before they come out to plant? Or
Yeah.
okay. Would that be easier than us trying to meet him out there, Scott?
Yeah, I don't have time
Okay,
to meet out there.
all right.
I'll get you guys an overview map. And I'll email it to all you guys, show you where the approximate locations are at.
Okay, great. Yeah, if you can get that to us before the planting occurs, just so we can confirm that, yes, that works for us.
I recall, Eric, that you said we were scheduled for the week of the 15th of this month for planting. That's what I think you told me a week ago or so.
Yeah, I believe it was the 15th.
Hmm.
I'll have to look through my emails, and if I can't find it, I'll call Dogwood and verify that with them as well.
Okay, great. Any questions, comments, further discussion on the tree planting at Congdon Park? Scott,
Tree planting, no.
Linda?
I'm good.
Okay. Eric, do you have anything else to add on that topic?
No, sir.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything for Congdon Park before we move on? Scott?
Do we have the finances available for the parking area?
So we've received one quote for the parking area, and that was from Niblock, at 19,000 there. If you want to move forward with that, we'll get at least one more quote. So you would have the finances there. It would probably mean you'd need to do an additional appropriation if we went forward with the mural.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, Linda, what's your question?
Okay. If we think about what's going on and where we need our parking, I think we need parking in Herman's Park more than we need parking in Compton. Because of the things that have happened. I mean, with all the kayakers and all the boaters and all that, we could use more parking for our pavilion.
I have a question related to that.
Mhm.
Is it okay if
Mhm.
it'll just be a quick one? Have we had any further issues that like we had that one time a few summers ago where a renter of the pavilion was getting harassed by boaters and kayakers? I mean, if we had any,
I don't think they were being harassed. I think the people that rented it assumed the whole parking lot was their parking. I was upset that they were parking.
there were some negative
Yeah, I don't think
exchanges
it
that
was
took
the
place, but have there been
Yeah, it wasn't-
any conflicts, I guess, between renters of the pavilion and boaters?
Not this year.
Okay,
Okay.
Not yet.
I also want to clarify that this is not adding parking. You have regular maintenance that you need to do in a parking lot.
okay.
So we're thinking that asphalt is getting close to where we should be doing something to it, or we'll start losing the base. And
Okay.
Eric, could you talk a bit more about that, maybe?
Yeah, for our last meeting, I believe I kind of explained that the longer this kind of goes, the more cracks start to open up and you start to get the water seepage that goes through it. Eventually that foundation, that base, if you will, starts to deteriorate, and then you go from doing the maintenance of just resurfacing, now you're having to go all the way down to dirt and establish a new base and then put a binder and a surface on it. You're building a whole parking lot versus realistically now is the time, based on my opinion and being that I've done asphalt work, that parking lot's pretty much there, as far as doing like call a mill and fill, which is gonna be a more affordable option, versus down the road, if it's one of the things that keep cutting off and cutting off, then that price could essentially double, if not triple. Because obviously the labor is going to, it's just gonna add to it. So, I mean, 19,000, yeah, it does sound like a steep number, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad.
So that would use up all of your ground improvements numbers plus a little bit more because the tree removal and tree plantings are coming out of that, but you'd have your equipment and general improvements that you still give you some buffer. But to do any of these other projects, then you'd need an additional appropriation. In fact, it sort of looks like you're going to need an additional appropriation anyways, because you've got 8,000 expenses coming up. And you've got another 48 there that
Yeah, so 8,048.
Yeah,
What's it?
you're gonna be over
12,
budget
8.
if you do that parking lot.
So right now, we're looking at around 12,800 of costs that we were already committed to,
1320.
1320.
13,320. So that's what you're committed to. You've got 30,000.
And that additional appropriation, could any of that come out of which funds would you recommend that those appropriations come from?
Well, you could use, well, Jill, do they need an additional appropriation to use the park, any of those other park funds?
They do.
So you could use,
DLGF's not going to deny or approve it, but we have to make the formal request to spend those funds.
Who's not going to deny or approve it?
Department of Local Government Finance. So because it's not tax generated, they're donations. Now your park non-reverting, that might fall differently.
the 52,000, you may be able to just spend that?
No, we'll have to make a request.
It's what?
We have to request any.
Oh, but does it have to have council approval? Okay. Yeah,
So can you run us through that again? Which fund would the Department of Local Government Finance have to be involved?
All of them.
all of
All of
them.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
bottom line, all of them.
They'll be involved. They just won't have like a final say if
Mhm.
it's not tax generated, those funds.
Mhm. You do have, what, Jill, 87 grand that we could,
64.
64, you could just pull right from your current fund as well. There's, have we transferred in the monies from the other one? So you have some additional revenue coming in,
So we have 10,000 in that Cume Capital
right?
or Sarah tax.
One of those two that we transfer
We
in.
don't transfer, we can just budget out of.
Oh, I see.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they always have that 10,000. You remember the 9,000 we used to transfer annually? So we don't transfer it annually anymore. We just have a line item for 10,000 for your expenditures. So I would spend that first.
Yeah.
And what did you say that was
Mhm.
called at first, Kim?
So come out of Cume Cap, I believe it does.
It's a Cume Capital.
Cumulative capital, is that what it says?
So you could take 10 out of that and then take the other
Correct.
10 out of the 52 potential.
We could take it out of the tune. Isn't there a 20 in grounds improvement?
Well, you're gonna
So that's
spend,
the one, yeah.
or you spent about 13 of that. So
We've
you
already
have a
spent.
little,
Yeah.
well, you have 13 you're on the hook for.
Yeah.
So you'd have 7 there left, so you'd have to pull a couple grand, about 3 grand from somewhere else, Linda.
Why don't we, before we make that decision, let's get another quote to make sure that 19 is where we're going to be. And we'll make that decision next month. We can't get it scheduled before probably September or something anyway, I guess. Probably do it after, Dog Festival or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I heard you
Yeah.
say something about fencing. Is that included in any of that cost?
The cost of a new fence, Eric, what did you estimate that last year?
That was about 2,500, for the split rail.
The decorative fencing to go around after,
Mm-hmm.
not a priority, but this was to make that look a little nicer. That was about a
Right.
3-year ago project,
Yep.
so.
Okay, so we'll work on another quote for that, for the parking lot review at Comden. And next month you guys can you provide us with a recommendation or proposal on which funds we would need to make appropriations from to cover that cost? Let's also take into consideration the costing of mural cost. The other thing that we're gonna wanna take into consideration is a possible cost for the first phase of planting at Hermance Park. And we'll cover those costs in these next few discussion points. But if you guys can include that in your proposal for the appropriations for those projects, we would appreciate it. Does anybody else have anything else on the parking lot proposal for Congdon Park? Scott,
No,
Linda?
No, I think that
Mike?
sounds like it needs to be
Jill?
done.
Eric, anything else to add on the parking lot redo at Congdon?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you for your work on that so far. We'll come back around to that next month. Next thing on the agenda, next thing is Cummins Park, but we don't have anything specifically on there, but does
Well,
anyone have
you
anything for Cummins?
Have a brand new fixed driveway into that, into the museum and Cummins Park parking lot.
Was that part of the road
Um,
construction? They redid the.
no, that was Eric and team putting new asphalt down. I saved that picture. So.
Thank you, Eric. That was very much needed.
Yeah.
The potholes at the end of that practically swallowed my truck.
You're welcome. Yeah, it was like a little bit of a Baja going through there.
A what? Baja?
A little bit of a Baja, yeah. It was a little bumpy going in, so, yeah, we put 6 tons of asphalt in that.
How much?
Wow.
6 tons.
Wow, just 6 tons.
Yeah, 6 tons. I originally thought, 2 tons of it. No, once we started putting it in, it was like, we're gonna be a lot more than this. But it's not band-aided. This is something that's gonna last
Great,
much longer. So,
great. Yeah, because sometimes you fill in those potholes and it just comes out before the year's even out. So,
right.
You can go on with the agenda and I will find
Okay.
that picture and show it to you later.
all right. So anything else for Cummins Park, Scott,
I don't have anything.
Linda,
No,
Jill? Okay, moving on then, we're on Hermance Park. First thing on the agenda there is the wetland planting project update. Linda, do you want to lead up that discussion? Linda and I have had another meeting with our team.
we had a meeting and, this time we did it down at Hermits Park and we did a walk around. And, when we were doing that, we determined that there is a hole where we had an ash tree that was taken that's behind the pavilion. And that needs to have dirt put in it. Now, how do we want to get dirt there? Eric, is that something that you guys can put some dirt there? Or do I need to go out and buy bags of dirt or what?
No, that's something we can definitely handle.
I mean, we're talking about, a big arm's full of hole that needs to,
No.
be done, and then, we'll wanna put some grass seed down there. So it shouldn't
Yeah,
really be topsoil if you've got topsoil, cause that's gonna be part of the permanent part that doesn't get underwater when it's flooding.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have to be a real big flood in order to get underwater there, but, we'd
Right.
like to have that put in, and then we were also talking about putting some dirt around the outside of the pavilion. And especially on I'm not gonna say which, I'm not.
The northwest.
I'm not
side,
gonna say the
northeast side?
northwest, north end, I'm gonna say north, cause I know that's kind of north.
Mike.
On that very north corner, nearest the Little Elkhart River, okay?
Could we have Mike pull up the map of Hermance for us?
That's
Unfortunately, the park she's talking about is just off of that map there. So if you can get us a map of Hermance Park that shows the pavilion, we can point to specifically where we're talking about. Because we were out there with our compasses trying to figure out which is the north wall and the west wall, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, you should just ask my opinion because it's right and then you know.
There you go.
Anyway, we walked around and actually was able to determine that when you go behind the pavilion and you walk straight down the river, the Little Elkhart River, that is all grass. Very good grass, solid ground. I went out there when the water was up as high as it could be that it was, and that was all grass. Nothing underwater. It was all grass. And so instead of putting any kind of walking path or anything there, let's just use it as grass and let the people walk on the grass. You know, the guys could go down there and, you know, go down with a mower one way, turn around and come back, and that's all the grass we need mowed.
Right.
Um,
Is that picture oriented north, south, east, west?
this
Yeah.
is north.
Okay,
this
very good.
is East, west.
All right. So that's why it's so confusing. Because I was with you, Jill. I'm like, that's the north wall. That's the northwest wall. So the area, the place where the hole, Eric, I don't know, can you see me well enough? The place where the hole is actually,
You got right there.
it's kind of,
That's
it's pretty visible from this map, right there. And I estimate a max of a cubic yard, maybe a half a cubic yard of soil is all you'd need to fill that in. We're talking right here. Can you see that? Okay.
Yes, I see it. Yes, we have, I mean, we've got screen dirt and compost that we have left over from the cemetery, that we can definitely plug that up with.
Okay.
Eric,
And then-
it's still pretty soft there, so, I wouldn't, you guys wanna test your trucks before you. I mean,
We'll track it in, we'll use the skiller, we'll track over it, and we'll kind of compress it a little bit.
okay, I just
Make sure
wanted
it's
to
nice and firm.
caution you, cause it's still pretty soft.
And then the other area where she was talking about, and Eric, we want to get your feedback on this. But when it does flood, it's this corner, or this side and this side of the building, but basically that north corner where the water collects right against the base of the foundation of the building. And you can even see that the cinder blocks there are breaking down more quickly than the other parts of the foundation. So Linda proposed, and we're wondering if you think this would work, is if we could put some soil up against that and compact it down so that the ground level actually slopes away from the building. Would water runoff coming off the top of the building hit that and go away from the building, or is it just gonna wash out anything that we?
We can definitely change the grade from the building out to the Little Elkhart River, so it's not so sloped to the building. I mean, but it will, I mean, I'm just gonna give you a heads up, it will tear up some ground there. Obviously, because we're gonna be having bunch of dirt. They're gonna have to get screened, soil to the block, to do it properly.
And we're not talking a lot, you know, I don't think it needs to go, you don't need to go, you know, halfway out to the river. I mean, maybe it's just a matter of a yard or two away from the building.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm thinking
Linda thinks what, Linda's saying like a
less
foot or
than
two.
half a yard,
Okay.
maybe a foot and a few more inches.
And just to let you know, Eric, we're planning to plant around this building there. So if the grass gets torn up, that's not really the end of the world because we are gonna be putting plants in there and especially plants that will soak up that water more quickly and help keep the pavilion from getting damaged. That's what our plan is anyway. But do you have any thoughts on
Yeah.
that, Eric? Anything you can give us some of your
No,
experience?
we can definitely add the soil to that wall and bring that grade out so that the water is sloped away.
Okay, and I think if you go out there and look at the very bottom foundational cinder blocks that are there, you should be able to tell where the water is accumulating. There's a line that's pretty distinct that you can see even when it's not wet. So you should be able to tell if you go take a look at it.
Yes,
If you look at it and have any questions.
that'll be kind of an indicator, just kind of a, yeah. I know, I've looked at it, I've seen where the water collected before. Thankfully, it didn't break through the wall, it didn't get in the building,
Yeah, the building stayed good this flood
but
season.
it does need addressed.
And so while I'm standing up and we have this up here, I just want to point out the part that Linda was talking about regarding a path around this building. Right here is where Kathy Antonelli has done some planting for us. She got some flowers in there. We'd like to continue that planting idea to be, you know, all the way around the pavilion for the most part on these sides. But then the path would start somewhere in here. And it's just gonna be a 6 or 8 foot wide, just mown path. And Eric, you can help us decide how wide that needs to be based on the width of your mowers. But that path is just gonna be grass, like she said, because it stays up above the water, especially starting here and going all the way down the Little Elkhart. That part stays drier than anything else. And it's just almost a perfect spot for a path. So the path would just kind of go along here. And Eric, what we're thinking is we plant plants in between that path and the pavilion. You know, this is the goal for the next you know,
Years.
2, 3 years, 4 years possibly down the road, but getting this planted with plants again that will soak up that water, will help control erosion. And so what we would just see is this grass path that's wide enough for, you know, the mower to go down 2 or 3 times. It's gonna go all the way around down here to the back of the park.
Our mowers are 5 feet wide.
5 feet, okay, so maybe a 10-foot wide path would do.
Yeah,
And so, okay, I just wanted to show them that while I was up here. Linda, did you want to give them any more specifics on the plan for the Hermance planting, either there or on your handy photograph over here?
So really the walk, if you go zoom back and get out, yeah. So the path, you know, if you do the parking lot in addition to that, we want to stay, here's a tree. Our path that we want to do that would be asphalt would just be around these trees and it would like stop right in here.
Were you guys able to see
It's
that,
not-
especially Eric?
Yeah,
basically,
so you're not getting.
grass from here.
Yeah,
All the way around to the back and asphalt just there. And that will also kind of, if we've ever had problems with people with their trucks and boat trailers coming into the park, if there's an asphalt pathway there, that pretty clearly demarcates that, you know, this is where the parking lot ends, and the park begins. So that's what our current plan is with that path, and that's what this drawing is as well. This is from a little different angle. Eric, I'm not sure how well you can see this, because it's kind of for Mike and Jill. This is the pavilion parking lot with the pavilion here. So this is that grass path going along the little Elkhart that we talked about, coming all the way around here. And then somewhere in this vicinity, it would change to an asphalt path and connecting here. These are all the pads that are there. These are 2 of the 6. There are 2 more right behind the pavilion. We were suggesting leaving all those pads and adding benches and picnic tables to those. This one is going to be kind of centrally located in the middle of where we have these different phases of plantings. So we think this one would be a really good one for a picnic table. And having 3 very small paths connecting through these different planting areas. And again, that's a path that's maybe just going to be 5 foot wide for the mower to go down. And Eric will work with you guys on the planning of that, so it is something that is going to be conducive with you're needing to mow the park. I used to mow grass for a living, and I definitely hated designs that made your job difficult. So we're going to try to make that easy for you guys, because part of the point of this is to save you guys time in mowing and money for the town as well. So that's basically the overall path design that we have for that. Before I get too far into it, does anybody have any questions, suggestions, thoughts regarding the paths for walking and getting around Hermance after we do the plantings? Mike Yoder?
Maybe. So I've been here for 5 or 6 years, and I actually have not been back in this park when it's heavily populated with boats and trailers. So you have competition for parking for the people that are renting this pavilion and the people that are using the boat ramp. So I'm asking, does this plan reduce the amount of total parking space for boats and trucks? And is that what you want to do?
It does not.
does not.
It does
Yeah,
not.
the place
Okay.
where we have this path going, it is completely within our parks area. And it's not interfering with any of their parking.
There's
here.
signs.
They
we've
park-
got signs
they park
that says
back in
no vehicles beyond this point. We got a sign back there.
Yeah, but we've learned what people think about signs.
Yeah.
And
Do you know where the
Well-
big Martin house is?
yeah,
The Martin
yeah,
house is like right in this vicinity. That's essentially as far as the path is gonna go to.
Okay,
I think it's gonna go right on the outside.
so
of that.
where do trucks and boat trailers park? Is it right along in this area here?
It's mostly in this area is what I've seen.
Oh,
And if they
okay.
do get overflowed, it does a little bit down here.
Okay,
The only people I've ever heard of parking that far over, I believe there was an Amish buggy that lashed its horse to the Martin house. Didn't it get partially pulled down one time because they hitched a horse to it? But other than that, I don't think anybody's parking on that side, so.
right.
So with that, how would you expand that parking lot?
Yeah, that's a good question, Linda. When you were talking about expanding parking, where were you thinking of doing that here?
Like going this direction, just.
That direction, yeah.
That goes into where your path's gonna
That's
be.
why I'm asking.
Yeah, well, that's why I would say we wouldn't do the path until we decided how far this would go.
Okay.
And then from there, the path would start like that.
Okay.
Well, so you wanna add on to the end of what's there.
Possibly. I mean, if we think that we need it. I mean, now you guys are, I mean, I know 2 years ago, we were just dying to have more parking spots down there, and now everybody's sitting here like, there's no problem at all.
Are you creating that parking for the pavilion or are you creating it for the boaters?
For the pavilion, I thought, for the weddings. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think it's a need, I just don't know how you redesign that parking lot to accommodate more spaces without going deep.
Is there any way, Linda, I think I agree, like coming out this way is a good idea, but is there any way to expand it this way? And actually being able to park more cars in there? I don't know a lot about parking lot design. I didn't, because this floods like crazy as well.
yeah,
That's like that's one of the lowest spots around there. When we were out there, it was almost 8 inches underwater. So paving maybe basically all the way up to the building might actually help with flood damage potential for the pavilion. But I don't know if going that direction is really gonna add any spots, you know what I mean? Because you might only be able to park a few cars here, but then you're not gonna have room for an extra row or something like that,
How many parking spots are there now? Do you happen to know? Anybody
oh,
know?
it's never been, I don't think it's ever been striped.
And the thing is, when cars park this way,
Mm-hmm.
it's really difficult to get 2 rows of cars. There's
Yeah, look
not a
there.
whole lot of, yeah. So that's what I'm wondering, if we expanded this way a little bit, if you could get 2 solid rows of cars, and if we came down this way a little bit more,
We could do
without taking the
some,
trees out.
we could do some measurements and see, what if you come out, let's just do some measurements and
That's my
parking
thoughts.
planning.
Pave that triangle up top.
Yeah,
this
up
way?
on here. And create
Where the boats-
parking
the boats
goes
are.
like this.
Yeah,
Well, if they can travel behind the cars to get here.
Yeah, I mean, that still puts their parking in the grass behind that.
yeah. But yeah, if, I think we should look into doing some here, and however much we can expand this, that's gonna make it easier for boats to get through while we've got pavilion rentals using it.
So if we have room for 100, what's the capacity, 100 people in there?
Mhm.
How many cars do you want to plan for? 50 or
50?
30?
I would say 30 to 50 would be a good target, yeah.
That's a big gap, Michael.
They were your numbers, Mike.
I know. I was hoping
If
to
you could
do.
get 25 in there now.
All right, well, why don't we
Yeah, I
see what
think
the
right now it
space
might be
is?
like,
10?
yeah, I was gonna say 10 to 15 maybe.
Yeah, you're not at 20 now, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think pushing them to 25 cars would be impressive.
Mhm. Yeah. So if we can get some measurements and just give us some
Yep,
ideas
oh,
for
we'll do
that,
some
and-
planning.
And like Linda said, we'd want to have that figured out before we looked into doing the asphalt part of that path.
Yeah.
And so Linda, was there more details you wanted to give them as far as what we were considering for the phases of planting for that at this point? Or is that something you want to have dial in a little bit more at our next meeting and give them?
Oh, we can probably, yeah. It's gonna be a phase, 2, 3 phases in order to get this done. And we were thinking of trying to start in September, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we'd like to see if we can get at least some of the planting started yet this fall. And maybe starting with a smaller section to just give us kind of a trial run to see what it's gonna take to
Maybe
keep stuff watered.
things around the trees and,
Mhm.
go from there and spread out.
Yeah,
and
so that's,
around
I
the
don't know if you guys can see very well on here, but phase 1 would be some of the planting around the pavilion that we discussed. And planting around the trees.
That area.
Or kind of in this
yeah.
area, these
Mhm.
trees here, just getting some planting in under the trees, because right now there's just a lot of dirt, there's not a lot of grass growing. So we we're thinking phase 1 kind of being around the trees and around the pavilion. Phase two would encompass where that playground area was. And kind of go all the way around, this is that pad that's in the middle of the park to give you guys kind of an idea. Actually, I might be able to show it to you a little bit better here. So if we're thinking, or visualizing the path going all the way around the outside of the park, a few paths connecting to this guy in the middle. And so phase one would be planting around trees here, around the pavilion some. Phase two, kind of be this open area where it's like it's a lot more sunny. And then phase three would be getting back into this area where there's a little bit more shade. We might have to think about some other different kinds of plants to put in there to deal with the more shady aspect of that area. So that's the general plan. We worked with the master gardeners to figure out plants that are native, that are going to attract native insects and birds, native pollinators, butterflies, things like that, but also plants that are going to be lower maintenance, because that's the goal, is to reduce the overall number of maintenance hours required for this park. And things that will work well in a really wet environment so that they'll soak up the water more quickly, returning our park to a more usable condition after we have these flood events that we seem to get every few years. So I think
We've never
that's
been
all I've
back
got.
there. Go back there and way over to this area over here and see what Greta's done with her coming down.
Yeah,
from-
she's got a beautifully
Yeah,
she has-
landscaped like terrace
Mm.
thing. going down the
Beautiful
park.
landscaping back there
Yeah,
that could be continued.
yeah, we could
Rules.
literally tie elements of that into ours, planting some ferns and hostas in the shadier spots. So I think that's kind of the plan we've got so far, Linda. Is there anything we missed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, questions, thoughts, suggestions? Scott?
No.
Okay, you already know all of this, so just because Lori comes and tells you about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So Scott's wife has been one of the people who's been very helpful in the planning process. Mike, do you have any questions, thoughts, suggestions?
Nope.
Jill?
We'll, work on some stuff.
Okay. Eric, do you have anything regarding the wetland planting project in her midst? I'll take that as a no. All right, so moving forward on
He
that.
disappeared from us, so yes, he
Okay.
has no further questions.
All right. It's easy to tell. So he'll get some soil and some grass seed planted in that hole. We'll get some measurements on the parking area to see about the feasibility of adding some additional parking there. And we will work with our team at our next meeting on deciding more specifics that we can give you guys for a proposal for phase one. Since I don't know how much we're planting in that area, it's hard for me to give you a guesstimate of cost. But since we've been discussing that, I would throw out that I estimated 4,000, and that was at the very high end of what we would need for the area where I originally planned this, which was that playground area. And I would guess that this phase one is going to be less than half of that size.
Oh, yeah.
So rough estimate of $2,000, Mike, if you want to include that in there for the planting. That's just for the plants at Hermann's Park. There will be other costs involved with that, like getting soil, we're gonna need some organic compost added, especially to that sandy playground area, but that'll be kind of as we move into
That will
phase
be-
two for next year.
I won't be this year.
So, and we'll be working with Kathy Antonelli, as she's been already out there planting in some of those areas, and we'll just continue to plant, and continue to beautify those parks. Okay. Next thing on the Hermann's Park, item is the mural discussion. And Jill, did you want to lead that one for us, or?
If you want, I can. I talked to Ashlyn. She just asked if we had an update and, a reminder that you're going to discuss it this meeting. So she presented, several options on one, the size, the location on the building, and then she gave some pricing to that. So I don't know if you guys want to discuss, one, is this something we want to do for 2026 or maybe 27? And then maybe what option we're leaning towards. Do we want the full, what you guys call it, the northeast west corner to the west side of the building, or do you just want to do one side? Do you like the corners? And this is something we want to move forward with this year. So if that's something we want to move forward with, we can sort of give her an idea of an option. And I would say we maybe have one park board member be the person that she works with. And that way, as a group, you guys could work with the person in charge and she could then communicate with that individual.
Thank you.
I think that's a good idea, Jill. If we pick one person to kind of be the liaison and we're to go between there. One other thing I wanted to, I guess, ask the board what we thought. Part of the discussion was whether the pavilion needed to be painted, just the entire thing as a whole before we do this mural. Because she did say if she was gonna paint it as it is now, she was gonna need to do basically a primer coat, a base coat to cover that area. And I believe someone did bring up the idea of, well, if we're gonna do that, does the whole pavilion need to be painted? Does anybody have any thoughts or opinions on whether that entire building needs to be painted?
I don't know when it was last painted.
I would
Mike
say
or
yes.
Jill, do you guys have any? It's been 10 years with
I
you.
think Chris Gardner did it.
Kristen.
Oh,
It might have been 7 years.
I don't
it was
remember
right
that.
around the time that I started on the board, which was 8 years
That it
ago.
got painted?
It's been
think
painted
so.
a couple times, yeah.
But he might, like, I might be remembering him doing some touch-up work on what he may have done before that. Was he on the board when he painted it?
Ooh.
Chris wasn't on the board.
Yeah, it was
Was he?
When I first started, he was.
too short-lived. And
That's how
Michael came to be.
well, I was on the board with him for a little while. I was covering somebody else. But
A
yeah,
lady down the street from myself.
Penny.
Penny. Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. So I came on board 8 years ago and it was around that time. So maybe 8, 10 years is when
Okay,
it was painted last.
He did some painting for us. I just don't remember what all he painted. Maybe
Yeah.
it was the pavilion.
I
Yeah.
bet you was up there.
Is there any way we can look at our past budgets and our accounts and find out like when we,
Well, I think we kind of know. I don't think you need to go and look,
Okay.
I mean, 10 years ago,
okay.
5, 10 years.
I
ago.
guess the
You
question
probably
is,
would.
does it need it or not?
Yeah.
Right,
No
I guess it
matter
doesn't
what
matter
you
how
do.
many years ago, if it needs it.
The big thing is, are you interested in doing it this year? That's really what's on the table right now. We can have all these other discussions if we think it's this year.
Yeah.
I personally don't. That's just my opinion.
To do the mural painting.
I think we have too many other things we're considering and we don't actually have the budget for it. It's a great idea, but I think just my opinion. We maybe look at this for next year.
Okay, so I share that opinion, I believe as well, but I definitely want to talk it out and see if anybody has any other thoughts. But Linda, what are your thoughts regarding doing the
Well, I
mural this year or
think-
next?
I definitely think that probably, everything we've got going on, I think probably next year would be better.
Okay, Jill, do you have, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, go ahead, Linda.
And I think that we should just, let's get to it next year and not, so that we'll be maybe first in line or something like that.
You can maybe make it a priority and I might suggest we get a quote on what it would be to paint
Mhm.
the pavilion, decide on a color that we're interested in, so that work is done for her, and then so it's just all part of one big project.
Just
We
get
get
it
a quote on painting, getting the building painted, so it's fresh. And then it's prepped for her to do her thing.
Okay. Mike, do you know if Eric has the expertise or experience to look at that and tell us whether he feels it needs to be repainted?
Well, yeah, I can ask. I would say any of us could go down and look at it and say, okay, this needs to be freshened up or not.
Okay.
If it's starting to chip in places.
But I mean, if she's
Okay.
suggesting that she needs,
A base coat.
Yeah,
then
maybe just
you
do
might
it.
want to just do the whole thing. I mean, I'm just saying. Truly
Did
budget
Jill,
for it.
did she get out and look at the building? Evidently she must have. She took pictures.
She No, I think it's just when we drove by, she took some
You just drove
photos.
by. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think what we were just thinking is depending on what the picture would be, the mural itself, you might wanna paint the building too, obviously to go with it. I think there's some areas down lower we talked about in the building that's been like chipped and might need some TLC.
Mhm.
I don't know if the entire thing needs to be painted,
Okay,
and it was painted 2018, 2019.
thank you.
Mhm.
So it seems like the board consensus is that we would want to wait till next year just because of all the other
Okay.
costs and projects we've got going on. But I like the idea of determining, first of all, whether it needs to be painted and then getting a quote on the cost of repainting it and getting that work done. First thing next spring, if it's gonna be necessary, so it's ready to go for her. I also think, if we're gonna be planting things out there, it's good to get your painting done before the plants come up. Cause it just makes it easier for the painter, paint falling on plants can kill them too. So I think we should try to work on scheduling this, well before, plants are coming in. And I believe she said that that was definitely doable, kind of like as soon as it started to warm up, she said she was able to paint. Um,
Would, just a thought, first of all, let's check to see if she thinks she'll be around here next summer.
I was going to mention.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
And then if she is, then we can put this in the budget, so it is budgeted project to do. And then coordinate with her to make sure that maybe we select the picture that you want, and then the color of the building is, she chooses the color of the building to match whatever
Right.
she's, okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the sequence. See if she's gonna be here,
Mhm.
choose the picture, and then choose the building color, and we'll get,
If she isn't gonna be here, we'll get us another one.
Yeah, we could possibly find, yes, there's other artists out there.
Mhm.
And if it's something we want to do, maybe the planning starts January, February, so everything's ready to go when the weather turns.
I agree.
So,
Okay,
do you guys want to wait till next year to figure out who that person would be to work with Ashlyn then? Because I don't know, unless you want me to communicate with her up to then I don't mind.
I guess unless one of you guys wants to volunteer to do it right off the bat,
I can be the person.
Okay,
Scott will be the liaison.
That's fine.
Very good. So we have questions or anything, Scott, we'll direct them through you.
Okay.
All right. And you have one of these packets, right? Did you receive that? Okay, because she gave us some really good information on there, so that should really help in our planning. All right, so we'll take a look at the building and see if it needs repainted. If it does, we'll work on getting that scheduled as early as possible next year and working with her to pick out paint color. And we'll work on design, I guess, throughout this year. So we have that ready to go beginning of next year. One thing I'll say about design, Jill, you reminded me of it when you were talking about it needing painted down low. I think we need to, if we're going to be planting around this building, which I think we are, I think we should consider a design that doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. Because it's just gonna be blocked by the plants that we end up putting in there, most likely. So that's just something to consider when we talk about the design. Okay, any other questions, thoughts, suggestions on the mural project, Linda?
Nope, I think we covered that.
Okay, I think so as well. Scott?
No.
Mike, anything to add?
good plan.
Excellent. Jill?
no, I agree. You guys.
All right. Oh, thank you for finding Ashlyn, and bringing her in and thank her for us for giving us such a great, proposal. It's really gonna help with our decision making. Okay, does anybody have anything else for Herman's Park before we move on? No?
I'll just give a quick update. Our
Sure.
online reservation seems to be working smoothly now. Just so getting people acclimated to, no longer having to call us, just go online. So I thank you guys for, taking that approach and allowing that convenience for our residents, for those renting our office.
Great, thank you for putting that together for us.
Is that maybe where some of that expense is coming
It
from?
is.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and that reminds me, Mike, did I send you a picture of the catch on the door at Herman's Pavilion?
You did not, but I did
Okay.
remember we had that conversation. If we need to replace that door and stuff, or latch, let's talk to Tony about that, since that's what he does for a living. locks,
Well,
remote locks and,
We can definitely talk to Tony, but it worked with our keyless entry, so. As long as,
well, I understood that our keyless entry back. I understood that our lockdown there's not being very reliable. Is that accurate? We used this happened when you were gone.
I didn't have a problem using my phone app to
Oh, you
get
did.
in.
Okay.
No,
I-
the issue that I was having was it's a mechanical, physical problem. That like when
Okay,
you push the handle down, the latch itself doesn't pull all the way in. And so the door, like it felt like it was still locked. But
that,
it wasn't. But if you lift the handle, it pulls it in a little bit further and you can open it okay.
that is exactly the only issue I've heard.
oh,
And so we talked about doing a different, like maybe even a knob, because Eric has said in the past, he thinks that people are just being hard with that.
Too hard with it.
Well, that's it. I mean,
It could
I started
very-
yanking on it when I couldn't get in, so that's,
So I think that's more, so we talked maybe more of a knob.
yeah.
Could maybe help with that. And GD Locks is just a company we've ordered off Amazon. It's feasible. And we can see if there's a knob. I don't know if it's gonna fix the issue we're having, but
I would think there's some internal component that, could be adjusted possibly, without needing to replace it,
you
but that would
guys
need to be
have
done
looked
by
at it, I
somebody.
just don't know how in
Okay.
depth and what they've done.
Okay, all right. I remembered I saw that when we went down there for our wetland planting meeting and wanted.
we might want to get a heavier duty or
Yeah,
than what we can buy on Amazon.
and at least
They
in
did
the
that,
short
and it
term,
was worse.
Tried that
Okay.
once and it was worse.
in the short term, we could just try to
Yeah,
tell
we'll
people
do
who are
something.
making reservations, if you're having trouble with it, don't yank on it, lift up on it and it should open.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you for getting the reservation app up and running for us. Great work. I'm sure that's really helpful for patrons of our parks as well. So thanks a lot,
Seems
Phil.
to be well received, yeah.
Moving forward then, Memorial Park.
Yes.
Mike, I had talked with you about getting us just an estimate on the date for final work in that park. Do you have that estimate?
Sort. So the work in the park cannot be done until we can close the right turn lane on Division Street and close the intersection. So that phase of this project is currently scheduled for maybe late September.
This year?
Yes, this year, yes. But there's a lot of work to do before they get there. So
Mhm.
we slowed down the project because they're doing our sidewalks at the same time they're doing the street, which makes a lot of sense. But that's taking 5 to 6, 7 days more than what they normally would have spent on this phase. Same thing will happen on the other side. So, but the last contractor meeting, it looked like they were saying late September, early October for down there.
Okay. Because I was thinking there was some work that was gonna be going even on next year. Is that not anything that's gonna really impact that park very much?
By next year, we should be elsewhere.
Okay, all right.
We should be elsewhere. But Reith Riley is much more optimistic on their schedule than the NDOT engineers.
Okay.
2 more months, we'll know better.
All right. Well, that's good. I mean, late September and possibly delaying that.
Well, if they get it done in September, it gives us a month to do some fixing up, get some grass seeded.
Okay, and so that's what I just wanted to do.
Irrigation work.
It will, it doesn't now because they disconnected it. I don't
No,
think there's water.
I mean, then we could work on it.
Right, so the new pipe does have a 1-inch stub for water for the park.
Maybe we should go to a 3/4, or we charge too much money.
Only
It doesn't, it's not gonna use that much, is it?
I didn't think we were putting a meter on it.
Oh. Don't put a
Perfect.
finger on it. Don't put a finger on it. It should be for the beautification of this town.
Right,
Okay, so that's the reason why I wanted to bring that up is so that we knew.
all figured
Don't listen, Joe.
What?
They just went over my head today on a decision, so I'm just kind of, we all do our thing. They think I didn't notice.
So probably the earliest we'd be looking to rebuild that park would be October, right? And possibly push back beyond that. So what I was wanting to bring this up was if we could have, more detailed discussion at next month's meeting regarding
What we're gonna do.
what we're gonna do. You just mentioned planting grass seed, we're talking about irrigation, we've got the memorial pavers as a proposal, the memorial sign as a proposal. So, I just wanted to ask if you guys wanted to include that as a discussion item for next month's, agenda. And is there anything that you want me to consider now, or is that a better conversation for July?
Maybe even August.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe not.
okay.
I think I'm thinking that your memorial might have to go into the next year.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah, that's gonna take some
That's
time, I
gonna
think, to
be
plan and for.
more of a
Mhm.
summer thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing we have a grand reopening, if you will, once we, accomplish the improvements and the reconstruction of the park after it's damaged, and I think doing that in warmer weather is a good idea. So, yeah, I just wanted to get a timeline on when and how we should have those conversations, so. We will start that then in, July or August.
Oh, I have something from Memorial Park.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you know our trees or the you know, what's,
Can they be staked and straightened, or is it too late for that?
I don't know. What happened to them?
Don't know,
The wind?
don't know.
We've had some intense wind this spring.
Yeah, so I don't,
Is it the? like,
Those
the
were expensive little lilac
Really?
trees. Yeah,
Yeah, now they're pretty warped up.
well, they're like that. Yeah,
Do we have anybody we can ask to take a look at them? Does that fall under Eric's experience or? do
for
we talk
some
to
reason,
arborists?
I was thinking that we had talked about staking those, pulling them back to where they should be, and that might fix the problem.
That
Where did I get that idea? Thought we talked about that somewhere.
maybe you were walking through town, and talked with somebody and you talked about that.
We'll stake those.
Yeah, I think that's a good,
I don't think that's how it happened.
I think that's a good first step. I can't
Yeah,
imagine that
that's,
would
yeah.
hurt him. If we want to give that a try.
I
and
think
in the meantime, see
Eric
if we
and
can
me
have
are
our
talking
arborists or
about
Eric
that, but
Take a look at it.
I'll talk to me.
So Mike and Eric will take a look at our leaning trees in Memorial Park.
Leaning trees.
Okay. Anything else for Memorial Park?
No.
Okay. All right, next thing we have on the agenda is the meeting protocol proposals edits. And I was just basically providing you guys with the edits that were suggested for the vote on this from last month. Scott, were you able to hear well enough this proposal? Okay.
I voted on it.
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure you could actually hear what you're voting on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to give this to you guys, let you take a look at it and have you let me know if those additions were sufficient. I added the variance wording that was suggested for part 7. I added the additions to the agenda that Linda requested.
Here's your new driveway.
Okay, there's that.
We just
photo.
put some hot asphalt in. We don't have a roller, but I assume they compacted it. Oh, there's the compactor right there. So they were doing something, but that's much better than it was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll all be rebuilt next spring. That'll be next spring. And that'll be a 2-car. You'll be able to drive in and drive out side by side, be wider.
Great.
Oh,
And probably concrete, what they're doing here downtown. So,
Wonderful.
so anyway, want to
What
get that.
about
down at the bottom of Apollo Street. Has anybody done anything with that?
Oh, that was the other thing from
Okay,
last meeting that we wanted to discuss was the drainage part.
right, so I had not, because I wasn't sure how far. What we are doing this year is putting a new water main down that street and totally tearing up the street. So I want to know the extent of that project, because maybe I could throw in some repair of that with that project.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we're not going that far, so we're gonna have to fix it on our own. So Eric and I'll take a look at it.
And
Clean it up.
what is it that you feel like needs done? Not that you
Oh,
feel like
not
needs done,
me.
it needs done, that's what I meant to say, it's not.
I just think it needs repaired.
Yeah.
It's rolling up and washing.
Not enough rock in there.
I don't think that there was, I can't imagine, I mean, the rock is, Scott, the rock's gone down like this.
Didn't think the guy, there's a few places he didn't put enough rock in when he was
Yeah.
doing that, and I pointed those out and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I pointed that side and the other side. There's bare spots on the other side where he didn't get rock where he should have. So,
So we need to do a rip rap redo somewhere along there.
yes,
Okay.
this need more. I mean, unfortunately, and now that some vegetation has grown up at Congdon, I feel better about it, especially when I'm down in the river looking at it.
Yeah,
But there's a couple spots there where it's like he just didn't put any right there. It's like, it's right on one of the points, and it's like, how did you,
yeah, and that's not stuff.
and
that's
some of
like
the
gonna
stuff he
wash
put
away.
it actually ended up down in the river instead of on the bank. So there's some of those
Big
rocks are,
boulders?
yeah, they're in the river. They're not where they're supposed to be.
Sure, where they're
And
supposed
he
to
just
be.
left
That's
them,
what
and
I
it's
was-
like, dude,
Yeah. Is there any, are we outside of any maintenance or warranty on the work for that job or?
it just is what it is. I don't know.
I think
Yeah, that sort of is what it is.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, when I kind of mentioned that to Dean, at the time, he was like, well, that's something we could probably fix with rock or whatever, but I didn't know what rock he was in reference to. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Is that something we could ask Eric and his crew to take a look at to see if it's something that they could?
Like this down here,
Some-
would probably. be
I think let's concentrate on this down
Yeah,
here.
sorry, let's.
Okay.
Like I said, I think Congdon's
Let's don't-
probably okay now that it's had a few years of vegetation growth.
Okay.
Some of that stuff I was worried about kind of filled in with vegetation,
All right,
but this down here needs to be
Fixed.
addressed. Yeah.
so can we have Eric take a look at the
Yeah,
drainage at the bottom of the
we need to
hollow?
Take a look at it.
And if he ends up buying some rock to do that, he could have him consider taking a look at some of the other areas and see if he could get a few.
Placing it on the bank at Condon, so we don't have the equipment for that.
That's what I wondered. if
Yeah,
we
that
have to
was-
hire
We
somebody to
don't
do
have
that.
that.
Yeah,
So,
okay. All right. So the last thing we were talking about was the meeting protocol proposal. That's just for you guys to take a look at. If it meets your standards, if that's what you say you meant, when we voted to approve it. Great. If you look at it and feel like we need some more edits, you can let me know and I can adjust that, before our next meeting. Unless you see something right off the bat now, but you can give that to me for next meeting, and if we need to make any more changes, we can do that. Next thing that we have is looking forward, and this is just circling back around to the mural design, but since we're gonna be decided we're gonna wait until next year to do that. I'd say for now, if you see a mural somewhere that you like elements of it, take a picture of it and share it with the group. Send an email, if there were specific items in here that you saw that you liked, or if there's specific, topics that you feel like would be good for a mural. Let's just share those with each other and we'll have that all be part of the discussion, moving forward. Does anybody else have anything else for this meeting?
occurred to me that by the next meeting, Eric will not be in his current position. He is transitioning to the wastewater treatment plant superintendent position. and
Oh,
I've hired somebody else to come in and take the head of the street department. So his name is John Creech, I think you probably pronounce his last name.
how do you spell it?
Creech. And he'll be starting June 15th, but there'll be several weeks of, well, we're shorthanded on the wastewater side and now we're shorthanded on the street side. So there'll be a lot of co-mingling, working.
Okay, so Eric will help
Are we
him.
missing somebody or are we just because we're getting bigger?
Derek left. Derek went back to Middlebury. He was on the wastewater side, so he left.
Oh,
So Eric is moving to wastewater, water. I brought in a new hire for head of the street department.
All right, well, I did not know that. Tell Eric, thank you for his work.
He'll be.
And he'll still be around, so, and so he'll be around to help John, complete any of the projects we've got kind of
Yes.
up in the air. Like the tree planting that's happening the day he starts at the water department.
Right.
Okay,
Well, Eric's already started doing some work there because we've got too many people on vacation.
yeah,
I'll need a Zoom for next month.
Okay.
okay.
If I can make it, we'll be in the UP, so I'll do my best.
It's a long ways for the internet to reach UP.
But regardless, I would have been at the fire station anyway, so I'd still need
Still
the
need,
Zoom, yeah.
okay.
Real fast back to Common Park, we did an update today. It sounds like the company's in the basketball court is scheduled for mid-June, we were told. So maybe in the next few weeks, we'll get the basketball court painted.
Okay.
Great,
So just an update on that for you guys as well.
awesome, thank you.
Who was the company that ended up doing that?
Ideal Coating
Okay,
out of Millbury,
who you're talking about?
yeah, it was him. They were,
All right, very good.
Question on with them at Ideal Coating. Eric had identified some cracks in the pickleball courts.
I can't remember anything about those.
Okay, I didn't know if Ideal Coating filled and fixed that sort of, like, do they do that sort
They
of repair?
do a lot of work with pickleball courts.
Yeah,
I
is that,
don't know on beyond painting.
okay, is it something you can just ask so we can have
You
a
definitely could ask.
a
them.
like-
You
a
may
like
have-
vendor moving forward for that
That's a
potential
good
repair?
thought. I know they're very busy with pickleball courts right now.
I know Max at Premier had said he had resources for that sort of stuff as well,
Yeah.
as a reason to get a hold of him about that.
Yeah, we need somebody before they get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a maintenance standpoint, Eric had identified that and he was gonna look at getting hold of somebody, Max or somebody. I just want to make sure that that doesn't fall through the cracks and literally. and
No
we
puns.
don't take care of it. So since it was brought up by maintenance
I think.
to begin with.
I don't think that made it on Eric's list. Eric was telling me last week, he said, Mike, I'm down to only like one thing on my list to do. I'm all caught up. And I'm thinking, I don't think so.
Let's
Okay.
talk to Scott.
Yeah, talk to Scott, Scott will fill that list back up.
Yes.
It's a revolving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scott has a backlog of
don't ever get,
years of lists.
yeah.
So,
All
okay,
right.
I
Well,
truthfully have to go. I'm already
Yeah.
running a couple minutes.
I think we've made some good progress here tonight, everybody. Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Well, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.